But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
Out, valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now, too up right now. I'm too, on one day on my third, I was too broke, now I'm too rich, made 100K on my third shift from a, boy, so, boy, and I'm a gangster, and you a, boy, man, we been getting money for a long time. We was out here hungry for a long time. I don't never really have no punchlines. And all you rappers looking like a lunch line. Ooh, right now, I got you. Right now. Nothing, need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew love right now. Cause we too up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Hop out, valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now, too up right now. Yeah, I'm too up, round blew up, copped that new rape on them haters, threw up, brother went to jail for them, told me you up, first time I seen 100 bands, yeah I grew up, oh, on the couches with my shoe up, and we was getting that.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the monsters of the Midway, the Chicago Bears, and the Detroit Lions. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they come into this one off a bit of a clunker last time out, a loss that ended their 5-game winning streak. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be taken out by the product of the University of Louisville, the talented Teddy Bridgewater.
He threw for nearly 350 yards. His team won, and one word just kept coming to mind as I watched him during the game. Surgical. Absolutely surgical. That's why he won NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, very precise. The throws maybe as accurate as he's been in some time.
Yeah, I think he feels pretty locked in here, and I think he feels like he can get it done again in this one, too.
Bridgewater on first down. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Naeem Hines, his first carry. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. Time to run through the starters on the defensive side for Chicago. This unit, 3rd best in the NFL in stopping the run.
Now, if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. 3rd play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the gun, Bridgewater. Flushed out right. He can run for it. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So, should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
So, from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Kelly now. Following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10.
No. Check. Patriot. Black 99 Philly. Here we go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit.
To throw is Kelly. Back to the air on 2nd down. His throw incomplete. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Now Kelly. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Gun! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Kelly throwing on 4th down. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Lions will take over. Though certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
3rd and long for Bridgewater. Open man right side is Ingram. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
On 2nd down, Kelly escaping the pressure right. Looking sideline, incomplete. Jonnu Smith, the tight end, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's Kelly to throw. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. A gain of 13 and also a 1st down. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football. And that's worked for the defense early in this game. And now he's got his first completion. Let's see if his confidence comes back and he starts to get into a nice little groove.
23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Detroit! 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 Gun! 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 Gun!
On 1st down, it's Kelly. That's complete to Chris Conley. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
A toss out to Barkley. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Looking to throw on 2nd. Here's Kelly. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Travis Kelce, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Watch it now, Barney!
They'll try and run for it. This is Juszczyk. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. So an even first quarter on the scoreboard, but the threat of points on the horizon. 0-0 our score. We're back to the Motor City after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney! Over!
A handoff to Barkley. And he spins through. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
To throw is Kelly. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone!
Here's Kelly. The quick slant caught. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Travis Kelce, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears are in for 6. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak. Got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
The 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, that was an okay hookup there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is taken around the 12. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And now running right through. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position.
Official foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
To throw, Kelly. Going deep for Moncrief. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half, because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
Here's Kelly to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. No. Check, Patriot. Patriot.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take him the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up 1st downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Kelly. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Dante Moncrief, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bears will extend their lead.
And no matter how it comes about, when you get good field position, you have to make the defense pay. Short fields usually make for good offense.
Rosas to add the extra point. Rosas good with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. A drive there of just 4 plays, and the end result is a Bears touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
20.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, Not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Bridgewater from the gun on third down. And that's caught by Beasley. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A first down throw for Bridgewater. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Bridgewater now from the 50. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. On first and 10, Bridgewater. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. And again, it's Bridgewater. And that is incomplete here.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Bridgewater again. And that will be incomplete as well. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Leopard! Gun! 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 Gun!
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's first and 10.
Gun! 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 Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now a first down throw. Kelly going deep for Moncrief. And this is going to be intercepted. It's the 2014 NFL interception leader, Glover Quinn.
Glover Quinn came into the NFL as a cornerback, but he's morphed into one of the better safeties in the league, and he just finished this one off with that nice pick.
Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended target. And now it's second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Now they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. First down, Bridgewater. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, but you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
On second down, here's Barkley. He finds an opening past the 40. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from...
And he fires one that's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. Well, when I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that...
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Bridgewater to throw it. And they set up the screen. That's complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying it is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try to pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
On 1st and 10, Kelly. Flush to his right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Kelly. Buying time to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
What's the old adage, be quick but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
The Bears on 3rd down. They have been superb, 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Kelly. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But the Bears look to get this one back, and indeed they did. So they'll keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On 2nd down, Kelly. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one goes for 24 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Gun! Hurry up, here we go! 319! 319!
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And now he'll tuck it and run. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain.
Gun! Watch it now!
throw on second down. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. In for the score, and the Bears will add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Second down, Bridgewater. Being chased out left. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this third quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Third and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Here's Bridgewater. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that
way. And it is incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter? It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
On first down, it's Kelly. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback, the intended target. And it's second down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
That one good for 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. But you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Dante Moncrief, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And he will find his man on the outside. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Man, he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Bridgewater on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Throw left side, complete to Ingram. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
3rd and short yardage, Bridgewater. And he's got his target. That's more. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Bridgewater now looking to throw on 1st. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Only 3 there on the screen. It's 2nd down. They'll throw again. Bridgewater. And incomplete.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
Because you're right, they have had no room to breathe.
20.
On third down, Bridgewater. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Bridgewater now on second down. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now Bridgewater. He rifles one that's intercepted. Terrence Brooks with a pick. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Rosas now to add the PAT. Rosas good with the extra point. They're all through now, by the way, in the Meadowlands. And it's the Giants that wound up winning that one. Sam Darnold, good game throwing the ball, over 300 passing yards. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. A second down throw for Bridgewater. Incomplete into the hands of Fowler. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So Charles are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout, and they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for Chicago, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they'll return home next week to take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Lions, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.